Okay, so we're going to go through crazy day in politics. Elon Musk is stirring so much up in the UK. So Elon Musk previously backed Nigel Farage, head of Reform, was about to donate $100 million supposedly, and had backed it up. But as his war with Starmer continued and the Labour Party, the sick, corrupt Labour Party that they are, he dug into what was going on in the UK. And he found a complete miscarriage of justice with Tommy Robertson, political prisoner at the moment, 18 months for contempt of court. What is that? When there's grooming gangs being let off, when the people beat up in Manchester, they beat up a police officer and they're roaming free with not even being charged. Beat up a police officer, not even being charged, but contempt of court, 18 months in solitary confinement. I mean, clear political prisoner. Anyway, then he went in the grooming gang scandal. Anyway, he's digging all this up, and Nigel Farage can't side with Tommy Robertson. That's his problem. Now, I will explain to you why Elon is both right and wrong. Okay, why is he right? Because Nigel Farage should be backing Tommy Robertson and asking to free him. He is a political prisoner. It's a total miscarriage of justice. There was nothing he doesn't deserve that kind of punishment, and fined £100,000 as well. You want to fine him maybe for contempt of court, which is 99% of contempt of court, that's fine. But to give the maximum sentence of 18 months and put him in solitary because he's basically going to get killed by the Muslims, which make up the majority of the UK prison population, he would get killed in prison, so he has to be put in solitary, is Stalin-esque levels. And especially when you look at an 18-month sentence compared to what that means in the UK, where you have major criminals who don't get that. Definitely burglars don't get that. Definitely thieves, repeat burglars don't get that. Repeat assault people don't get that. No one gets that, right? So this was a clear miscarriage of justice. He should be freed. It's a disgrace. Starmer did it to jail his political opponent. Someone bringing up a big thing, which was the grooming gang scandal. Tommy Robertson brought it to public attention, and he also got already 9 months for that already. Right? And he's bringing more attention to other topics of how one community is sided compared to another. And he was jailed. It's completely corruption. It's disgusting. It's what you expect from a banana republic. He should be challenging that, just like Elon Musk is challenging that. He won't. Why? Because he wants to be politically correct. He doesn't want to be seen to be right-wing. He doesn't want to be seen. Now, Sargon correctly says, by the way, Sargon correctly says that Farage has got it wrong. He thinks he's going to be labelled racist and whatever. He will by the BBC and ITV and who cares. But no one looks at them anymore. What he doesn't get is Donald Trump won an election even though the entire plethora of legacy media was against him. Everyone was saying he's a convicted criminal, as bad, as racist as Hitler. That's what they were saying. And he still won by a landslide, won the popular vote, won every state, didn't lose one county, blah, 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 blah. Because no one cares about the legacy media anymore. And that is why Sargon is completely correct there. And Farage is stuck with this old mentality that he doesn't want to be labelled racist. He doesn't have the thick skin. And Elon is basing this on his dad's interview on GB News, Errol, I think it is, who said he doesn't think Farage is the right candidate because he doesn't think he has what it takes to, stand by your beliefs and take all the hits and go forward. Farage cannot do that. He doesn't want to take. He wants to be this meandering candidate. And we can see here something also extremely worrying, where he basically accepts Islam will take over the UK, essentially.
23% of 18 and 24-year-old young Muslim men thought jihad was acceptable. There is a growing number of young Muslim males who loathe who we are. Loathe. But the vast majority live peacefully, even if their sympathies may lie in a slightly different direction. We have a Muslim population in Britain growing by about 75% every 10 years. Right? That's just where we are.
Mm-hmm.
If we politically alienate the whole of Islam, we will lose. We'll lose.
So how does one include
We
them?
will lose. By 2050, goodness knows what kind of a terrible state we're going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the UK's biggest problem is Islam, taking over the UK, to have a statement like that, what is his solution? He wants to, be in government with them. They don't want to be in government with you. They want to take over the government, right? And again, I want to just point this out. 90% of Muslims are completely peaceful and amazing and will not kill anyone or do anything. The only problem is all those 90% will not start with the 10%. When the 10% take over, the 90% will all fall into line. And that's why we've not had one word against the grooming scandals, one word against all these people, one word from the mosque, one word from the Muslim Council of Great Britain, one word, because they all just fall into line with the Ummah. That's the principle of Islam, the Ummah, to the greater Muslim world. And that is why they will all fall into line and they won't do anything. That is why Islam is the problem, not because 90% of them are good people, good, honest people. It's because they all fall into line with the 10%. And that's their problem. Okay, so saying that, you've just seen Farage basically sucking up and doing a nice suck-up job with Muslims. I don't know what his strategy is then. He wants to stop immigration, but you're not going to actually stop Islam taking over the UK. So I don't know what the point is in voting for you. So Elon is completely right in all these things. The problem is, he is the best we have. He is as right-wing as the British population will take. The British population is extremely woke. It is the wokest in the world. More woke than Sweden, more woke than Netherlands, more woke than any country you can think of in the world. And he is thinking the British population is like Americans, right? Who, they speak what they say, they can see something clearly, they call a duck a duck. Britain is not like that. Britain is, maybe it could be a duck. Perhaps it could be. I don't know if it isn't a duck. That's how the British people work. Everything is subterfuge and not saying things what it is. And that is what Farage is. That is as right-wing as you can get. You cannot get a guy who's going to say the truth, who's going to stand up for Tommy Robinson, it's not going to happen in the UK. So this is why he's wrong, and this is why we do actually have to, even though I disagree with Farage's stance, I will still be voting reform, and I would still vote reform, because there is no one else, and he's the best you've got. We'd make do with what we have. Any more candidates, say Tommy tried to start a party, it would flop in 5 seconds. It would flop because people would be scared of being labelled racist and fascist and whatever, and he'll get like 3 votes. So you need a candidate like Farage who doesn't have that stuck to him in order to win. And Elon has to just understand that is the way the British are. They're wimps, they're weak, and they're woke. So as the only chance the UK has is Farage. It's a very slim chance. I think a more higher chance is a Muslim Party of Great Britain will come in next election and then win it the next one after that. But Farage is a slim chance, and that's why we have to support him. So I hope that explains what's going on.